Savings are an essential aspect of your financial journey. The reason is irrelevant, whether you're aiming to create a buffer for emergencies or saving for something specific, the act is still impressive. The reason this is such a big deal is because you have managed to achieve one of the fundamentals of building wealth, which is living on less than you make. Although getting to this point is an accomplishment, it is important your savings are put to good use, so in this video I'm going to explore different options you can take with your money. Hello, my name is Kai and today we are looking at ways to get your savings working harder for you. Assuming you're at this point where you have money aside in savings, you're already ahead of 34% of adults in the UK. According to a study carried out by money.co.uk, up to a third of adults had either no savings or less than £1,000 in a savings account. So you're getting ahead of people and you've done well with money, so you can ease off and relax now, right? Well, not exactly. The problem with these savings is that some people tend to keep their cash under the mattress. When I use the term under the mattress, I don't necessarily mean this in a literal sense. This could be in the form of physical cash stored in a safe or even in their bank account but not earning any returns. For example, in this study carried out by Build Societies Association in 2023, over a third hold their savings in a current account. That means that although they've done the hard part and saved up some money, they are getting absolutely nothing in terms of rewards for having this money set aside. This is not all bad, of course they still have their money so they are in a better position than most, but there is one factor which is a massive hindrance to this behaviour. Inflation is the gradual decrease of your purchasing power over time. Every single year that goes by, your money you hold in cash can buy less. This means that the price of everything gradually goes up and up, so that cash sitting idle under the mattress becomes less valuable the longer it sits there. Imagine you are sitting proudly with your £1,000 saved up. If you keep it sitting there over the next year or maybe more, this £1,000 will no longer be worth the same amount. The current rate of inflation in the UK is 2.5%, and this is down from 4% the previous year. In our example, which happens to be 3%, after 1 year, the £1,000 will be worth £971. After 5 years, it will be £863, and after 10 years, it will be £744. That is assuming the rate stays constant at this rate of inflation. So we've established that keeping cash physically or in a no returns is harmful for savings. So what can we do about it? Luckily at the time of recording, we have many options available to get a return on our savings. One type of savings account is a regular saver, or otherwise known as a monthly saver. These accounts work by setting aside a certain amount to save each month. This is great for people who want to start getting into the habit of saving. Generally speaking, these accounts pay higher interest rates than traditional accounts, but they come with varying terms and conditions which must be adhered to. For example, they usually place a cap on the max amount you can deposit each month, and the offer will usually expire relatively quickly, for example after 1 year. With this type of account, it is important to remember that the interest paid does not apply to the full amount, as the value begins earning interest from the first month. So if you complete a regular saver where the final amount will be capped at £2,000 and the interest rate is 10%, most people would expect to earn £200 in total, but this is not the case. Despite this, these accounts are still great for getting people accustomed to setting aside money regularly. Next is instant or easy access savers. Instant access savers are very simple. You earn a rate for holding an amount in your account. There are usually no penalties for withdrawing or adding and removing money. These accounts are ideal for holding an amount and maximising return despite potentially needing to access the money at any point. This is a good option for an emergency fund. The downside is you may earn a slightly lower interest rate for the convenience. An easy access saver is sometimes used interchangeably, but there is a difference. Easy access usually means there is a limit on the amount of times or the amount of money you can withdraw. For example, you may only be able to withdraw 3 or 4 times a year. It is important to understand the terms and conditions of your account so that you aren't penalised. Both methods can be extremely useful if utilised properly, but do not get caught out. Next, fixed saver or certificate of deposit. A certificate of deposit involves locking away an amount of money for a specified period. The amount of time you lock your money away can range quite a lot, generally from 3 months to 5 years. You would normally expect to earn a bit more interest for using this method, since you'll be parting ways with your cash for a certain amount of time. This mode would be suited to someone who already had savings and didn't need access to cash in case of an emergency. One way I personally like to use this is by incorporating a CD ladder. This is essentially where you stagger your CDs so they mature at different times. One example could be setting up 2 one-year CDs so they are available every 6 months, or maybe 3 6-month CDs so they are available every 2 months. The freedom to choose is completely up to the individual and what suits their position the most. Doing this correctly means you'll be benefiting from the increased returns, but also allows your cash to be more liquid in case of emergencies. So far we have covered various methods which could suit different people at different times. They all operate in ways which can earn you a solid return on your savings instead of losing money to inflation. However, there is one big catch. All products discussed so far are susceptible to tax. So what can be done about this? Luckily in the UK there is something called a cash ISA. This account pays you interest, but all earnings are exempt from tax. Cash ISAs come in different forms. For example, they can be instant or easy access like we've discussed. Again, please check the terms and conditions so that you know the rules before you apply and you do not get burned by penalties. There are other forms of ISAs, but I will cover this in another video. The main limitation on them is that you are capped at £20,000 per year between all of them. So if you've used £15,000 on your allowance elsewhere, you can't put more than £5,000 into a cash ISA for that tax year. To put all of this together then, we've discussed why it is important to start putting your savings to work. Leaving your hard-earned cash in its physical form, or somewhere you aren't earning in return, means your money is slowly being eroded away by inflation. There are a wide range of accounts we've covered, and they suit different needs depending on the person using them. Although these options are great, they are taxable, but that is where ISAs come in. Everyone is different, so you should make an effort to learn about what products are available to you and how they can benefit your situation the most. This video is about how to earn a return on your savings. If you aren't at this stage yet, check out my other video on budgeting methods. This will give you information about popular strategies you can utilise to begin your journey to financial freedom. Thank you for watching.